Hi and welcome back to Chop's Garage. Today we're having a bit of a change around. We're moving away from the normal day-to-day flips and the BCA 9-car flip theme that we've been having in the last few videos, because we're on to one of my personal cars. This is something I bought for myself, and it is quite possibly got to be the worst 106 Rally in the country. Why have I bought it? Always wanted a 106 Rally. I mean, obviously I should have bought them when they were super cheap, but I've always wanted a 106 Rally. Reason being, reading Evo magazine, you know, all the car magazines, they do their top 100 cars of all time, performance cars. Somehow these sneak in every time, despite the fact they're a modest 1.3. They sneak in all the time, and I wanted to know what it's all about. I've never driven one, and this is the first one I've ever got my hands on. So, not only have I bought the worst one, I've massively overpaid, and I've broken every rule I have about buying cars. I'm massively overpaid on it. So let's start going through why this is the worst 106 Rally yet. So if you know nothing about the 106 Rally, it was built specifically in small numbers by Peugeot so they could do a rally homologation, so they could go rallying with the 106. And to do that, they needed to build a specific engine, a 1.3. So most of these had the 1100s, the 1360s. This has got a specifically built 1300cc. Now there's going to be people out there know way more about this than me, but what I know is they built this 1300 and they put a high lift cam in it, and they made it make 100 brake horsepower. The car itself, I think, only weighs around 700 kilograms, but they made it so they made it rev out to 7,200 revs, gave it 100 brake horsepower, and made them in small numbers. You could get them in red, you could get them in black, and you could get them in white. Now there is a Series 2 106 Rally. This is a Series 1. I think the Series 1 106 Rallies are worth more because the Series 2 106 Rallies had a 1.6 engine that you could get in a number of other Peugeots. So these are the earliest ones, the Series 1s, these are the special ones. Now all the Rallies, as you probably know, came with the white steel wheels and the little body kit on them. So on my one, my white steel wheels are in terrible condition. They are rusty as you like. Really bad nick. So they are going to need completely stripping and powder coating. So that's number one reason I've got such a tatty Rally. Now how did I come across this? We'll go through the other bits in a second. Just to cover that, I put a shout out on the 106 Rally forum because you just don't find these for sale very often at all. I've seen them for sale as much as 18,000, totally restored. I've seen them presentable, running, driving, good examples, but not restored, at around 10k. I didn't want to put that much money into one, so I put a shout out on the 106 Rally forum and said, has anyone got a tatty 106 they want to get rid of? And this is what I was offered straight away. And without really thinking about it or doing any proper research, I bought it. So we've got the terrible steel wheels. We've got appalling lacquer peel all over the car. It's had a respray at some point. You can tell via the rubbers it's had a respray. And the lacquer peel is all over the bodywork. It's absolutely everywhere. If anybody saw me flip that that Citroen C1 with lacquer peel on the bumpers a few weeks back, I don't think I can save it in the same way I saved that one. This is going to need a full respray. Lacquer peel absolutely everywhere. Coming round the back, the rear bumper is cracked, so that needs repairing. And again, the paint is all faded on it, all lacquer peel here. It's even gone through to some primer underneath here where it's worn away. Over here, we've got the lacquer peel, but on top of the lacquer peel, we've got a big dent in the rear quarter panel here, coming through here, that needs repairing. Looks like the bumper's come away there as well. Going along this door, we've got Foxcard vehicle security. Well, I'm not sure if this is what their vehicle security is, but the lock is mullered and there's a hole in the side of which I found I need to stick a screwdriver in order to allow me to open the door. And it's all dented in, so that needs to be bodyworked back out again, or potentially another door found. And coming onto the front wing, we've got another big dent in the front wing there, and again lacquer peel and bubbling paint. Looks like someone's resprayed with moisture in the line. Again, steel wheel, terrible. But that isn't the worst of the bodywork. If we get up here, this is a sunroof model, which I don't know if that's less desirable than the full steel roofs. And it is bubbling all the way around. And even here, we've got a little hole. So this sunroof has to come out and this roof skin has to be fixed or replaced with one without sunroof. I haven't decided on that. Maybe somebody in the comments knows whether they came out the factory with sunroofs or not. If it did come out factory sunroof, I'll leave it there because that was manufacturer, but that needs to come off. You can see we've got algae in all the rubbers, so that needs to come out as well. So bodywork is appalling. We're missing the front badge. I've managed to track one down, but it's cost me a small arm and a leg to get that. We've got flaking paint and rust here as well as the lacquer peel, but at least I've got original bumpers, original trim. That is one thing. Now, as you can see, all the windows are covered in condensation. Well, that's because it's leaking through this sunroof, no doubt. So that's the exterior dealt with. Let's have a look at the interior. Now the Rallyes came. Now, oh, I missed that. You can hear the clicking on the door. That's because we've also got a big old dent right here that needs pulling out and fixing, and I can see orange peely paint there where someone's done a poor paint job. So yeah, into the interior. Now the Rallyes all had this interior, which was the black with the red flecks in it. Now this almost looks black, but as you'll come to see in a second, the seats, they're not like it at all. The window widers have completely lost all their colour, so that needs sorting out. And then the seats themselves are really faded, dirty and faded. So again, they're going to need a real clean to come up. I do have the original steering wheel with the little Rally logo on it, and this car has done 96,000 miles. I don't have any history with it, so another no-no. I know a cam belt was put on it before I bought it, but I've got no other history on it at all. So hopefully I'll be able to find the owner. On the other side, the door handle is completely faded out on that as well. Carpets are faded, need a really good clean. If we look in the back, we've got some mould on the seats where the damp's got in. Sorry, the camera work's going a bit now. We've got mould on the seats where the damp's coming in and they're a bit faded, and all of our red seat belts have also seen better days. They all came with colour-coded seat belts. I mean, luckily there's no rips or tears on the seats, which is a big bonus, and all the bolsters are actually in really good nick. So I'm hoping that we can get away with just cleaning that. Fingers crossed. Inside there's not a lot to go wrong because it was all lightweight, so you've got wind-up windows. It's missing its stereo, so I don't know what an original stereo in a Rally would have looked like. And the top of the dash here is got all watermarked and nasty. I need to see if I can clean that and draw some colour out of that. So that's the bodywork, is appalling, as you can see. So we'll have a quick look now. We'll have a little look-see in the engine bay side of things. Now luckily I can open this door at the moment because I already tweaked that. Let's have a look in the engine bay. Now, believe it or not, this has got nearly 12 months MOT on it. So it was actually got mechanically sound and running before I got hold of it. I haven't been brave enough to take it on the road yet, to be honest. Use the camera work a second. Yeah, I haven't been brave enough to drive it any distance yet. So I'm not sure how valid that MOT, how good an MOT that was. Right, let me just get a torch 1 second and we'll get a look. So, engine bay, dirty as expected, but does look solid in the spots that normally rot out. It does, because these can rot quite badly. It does look pretty solid. It came completely missing its air intake. I did the only thing a lad that used to drive in the 90s could do, and ordered my K&N stuff. So I've got a K&N breather for it. I have got a K&N filter to go on it, but I really would like the original airbox on it, because originality is going to be everything with this. So if anybody put me onto an original airbox, I'd love to get hold of one. So like I say, this is the engine only came in this car, as I'm aware of. It only came in the 106 Rally, this 1.3 unit. They are tough little units. Like I say, it did have a cam belt before I got it. I've taken the cam belt cover off and I confirm there is a new belt on there, which is the only reason I'm running and driving it, because it has been off the road for, I think, 10 years or more. It's been off the road. And it's also missing its dipstick. I need to get hold of an original dipstick as well. This dipstick is something random, and I've had to put a bit of putty on the end of it to stop it from falling right into the engine there. So she is a run and drive. So let's get her running and see what you think of the engine. So she does start on the button every time. I haven't had any problems with it starting, and it seems to run quite sweetly. I don't hear any major bearing noises or anything of the sort, but we do have a problem. Once she's been running for a few minutes, we're getting white smoke out the back of the car. So I'll hope to show you that in a second. So I suspect we've got a head gasket gone, but she does sit and idle quite happily. And she seems to rev up cleanly, but it does look like we're going to have to get this head off and check the head gasket. I've got my mate Lee over at Barham Engines, top guy for engines by the way guys, if you need any engine work, Barham Engines. He's quite happy to help me with that. So what we want to do is get the head off and check in the pistons and see what the condition of the pistons is like, and then put a new gasket on it. But like I say, it seems to run okay, and I don't know if it's going through much in the way of coolant. I'll have to check that again in a bit. To be honest, I haven't checked because I haven't driven it any distance. Now I have driven it round and round the industrial estate a few times, and it goes through the gears okay, and it steers okay, and whoever did it got it for its MOT, put new rubber on it. I think I need to take a bit of a brave pill and take it out on the road. Back in the day when I was, in my teens, if I got something like this, I'd be straight out on the road with it without a thought. Now as an adult, you're kind of like, oh, am I going to break down? Am I going to have problems? But obviously what I don't want to do is warp the head if that head gasket has gone, because this car has been sitting for such a long time. It wouldn't surprise me if the gasket's gone on it, but further investigation will be needed. So we have a running drive-in 106 Rallye with 12 months MOT, but it's a state like this. What do we think I had to pay for it? Well, I paid £4,800 for it, which in hindsight now is a massive overspend, because if you can get them in great condition for 10 grand, an engine work, a body rebuild, an interior retrim, that will soon be eaten up in that £5,200. So this is not the way to buy cars at all. So the question is, what do I do with it? We turn her off so you can hear me a bit better. Well, actually we'll wait and see if we start to see the smoke coming out. There's no smoke at the moment. Just starting to come out. There you go. She's just starting to. Now a lot of people say to me, oh, don't worry, condensation, it's been sat for a while, it's got water in the exhaust, that kind of thing. I think I've had this running enough times now to know that it's not just water. Let's give her a little rev up and see if we see any more smoke. Now what we could do is we're going to be doing an engine rebuild anyway, stick some steel seal in it and see if that sorts it, and then I could just go out and have some fun in it. Because what I always find with any cars you restore is you don't actually end up having any fun on them, because you want to sell them while they're mint. Or at least I do anyway. And what I don't want to do with this is make it so perfect I don't want to drive it all the time. And what I'm thinking is, comment down below, see what your ideas are. I'm thinking of running a ratty rally. So I mean, what I do is I make sure the engine's running right. I could just, like I say, stick some steel seal in it, run it and see what happens with that, and just go out and drive it and enjoy it. Or I could get the head off, do the gasket, sort out the rot around the sunroof so I don't let any more damp in, but then just flake off the rest of this lacquer, buff it up, and again, enjoy it. Or I start tearing into it. I go and get the wheels powder coated, I paint the bodywork on it, I strip the interior out, clean the interior out, I get all the engine work done, I check out all the suspension, but that means I'm not going to be driving it, I'm not going to have fun with it. I'm really interested, genuinely interested in what your thoughts are, so please comment down below. Bear in mind, if I restore this, you know, we've got my MGB in the corner that I still haven't got done. I've got my cappuccino at home that I haven't done any more work on. I'm going to struggle to get it done anytime soon. So what do we think? Ratty Rally. It hasn't got any of the logos on it that it should have. So if you know your rallies, it should have some graphics on it. So I'm thinking machine polish the body. I think this is where I am with it. I think I flake off the lacquer, I machine polish the body, I sort the rot out around the sunroof so I stop any damp getting in because we don't want that to damage the car. I clean the interior best as I can. I leave the wheels as they are. Like I say, I just polish up the paintwork, put the decals on, and I potentially run this either with some steel seal in it, or I take it off, get the head done across the road, put that in and leave that as far as the engine work's gone. Because it's got a 12-month ticket on, I could, you know, in a month or two's time, we're probably going to have some better weather, I can get out and enjoy it. That's what my thinking is. And then later on, strip it down, give it a full paint job, powder coat the wheels, get underneath it, clean it all up, wax oil it underneath, you know, paint it underneath, Raptor or something like that to seal that underneath, go through, do all the suspension. I don't want to modify, I want originality. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts on what I paid for it. I'm thinking I massively overpaid for it now. But let me know what your thoughts are. I'm thinking things like this, to stop it catching, I can pull this out and just rattle can that. Fill it, sand it, rattle can it just for the moment, just to tidy it up. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on what I paid for it. Let me know your thoughts on what I should do with it. And if there's any of you 106 Rally nuts out there who know where I can get hold of an original airbox and have any tips and hints on these cars, let me know. I do love the way this bonnet goes absolutely vertical. Isn't that brilliant? Absolutely vertical, so you can just get in here and do it all. I mean, I'm not a mechanic, as I say many times over, but this looks like something I could easily unbolt and get the head off and get the work done if I needed to. I would, like I said, I'm going to put the K&N there for the moment in here, but I would like the original stuff. But yeah, enough of that. You guys let me know what you think. After all my videos talking about how to buy and flip cars and make money on them, you can see that, you know, I buy with my heart sometimes before my head. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can find out what happens with the Rally and all my other flips. Thanks a lot.